And thank you too, Dr. Ellis Chang, General Secretary of this great Jamaica Labour Party. Let's welcome now the Member of Parliament elect and Minister of Finance of the constituency of Northwest St. Andrew, Dr. Nigel Clark.
Leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, the Most Honourable Andrew Holness, Deputy Leader, Campaign Chair, Campaign Spokespersons, and Chairman of the PR Committee, ladies and gentlemen, good evening. The people of Jamaica have spoken today, and they have spoken emphatically. By any measure, this is a historic election and a historic election result. The Jamaican people turned out in your thousands, in your tens of thousands, in your hundreds of thousands, abiding by the health protocols, braving the afternoon rain, and have made their decisions clear. We campaigned on our record of achievements, many of them unprecedented, and the people of Jamaica have responded by giving us an increased majority. We are indeed humbled by that, and the Jamaican people can be assured that we will use this increased majority under the leadership of Prime Minister Andrew Holness to continue to deliver policy successes that improve the welfare of the Jamaican people. As we said in the campaign, this election takes place in the context of the greatest crisis that Jamaica has faced. The Jamaican people can be assured that under Prime Minister Andrew Holness's leadership, we will continue to protect lives and to protect livelihoods. And we will use the majority that you have given us to work together to lead Jamaica to a quick and speedy recovery. Now, this will require unity. Today, we went to the polls and participated as JLP and PNP. Tomorrow, it's very important that we wake up as all Jamaicans. And there's no better person to lead Jamaica in the unified way that is going to be required for us to recover from this pandemic than the leader of the Jamaica Labour Party, Prime Minister Andrew Holness. With that, in all humility, we thank the Jamaican people and we commit to working together with you so that Jamaica can recover strongly from this pandemic. Thank you.
Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, the last time this great Jamaica Labour Party won consecutive general elections in this country was between 1962 to 1972. This party is an institution of greatness. Our leader and founder, Sir Alexander Bustamante, built this party from the bowels of the working class people of Jamaica. This party have grown, and have grown to the extent that every time the country needs a government to respond to crisis, the Jamaican people turn to the Jamaica Labour Party. It is my distinct pleasure this evening to bring now to address the country on the evening of this massive endorsement of his leadership of Jamaica, the Member of Parliament for the constituency of West Central St. Andrew, leader of the great Jamaica Labour Party and Prime Minister-elect, the Most Honorable Andrew Michael Holness.
Thank you everyone. Thank you Desmond. Good evening Jamaica. First, let me say thanks to the Almighty for sparing us and for guarding us with his mighty hand. We went into an election with the backdrop of a pandemic. And you will notice that I'm speaking to you while still wearing my mask as a symbol that we are still under serious threat of the pandemic. By and large, I think most Jamaicans tried to abide by the protocols. I want to give the assurance to Jamaicans tonight that your government will continue its effective management of the COVID pandemic to keep you safe and to protect your livelihoods. No doubt we are entering into a new phase of the pandemic, an inevitable phase of the pandemic, and that will require a new strategy of management. But whatever we do, you can rest assured that we will keep you safe, we will keep our frontline workers safe, we will make the necessary allocations in our budget so that you can be cushioned and cope with the economic fallout that accompanies the pandemic. Tonight, the victor is the people of Jamaica. You came out in your hundreds of thousands and you participated in the solemn process of democracy. You voted. You expressed yourself through the ballot. There is indeed cause for celebration, but there is also, I would believe, significant cause for consideration. There are many Jamaicans who did not participate. There are many Jamaicans who, for fear of the virus, decided not to come to the polls. But there are also many Jamaicans who, for other reasons, apathy, frustration with the process, decided not to participate. So even though we have this overwhelming majority and the people have given us the mandate that we require, we are still considerate of those Jamaicans who still look on with some suspicion, some concern, some apathy on the political process. So we are very cautious in our approach to receiving this overwhelming majority. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes on any characteristics of arrogance, of inhumility. It must never be that the government that emerges from this victory takes the people for granted in any way. As I stand here tonight, I am obviously happy to have won, but I want to assure all of you that I do carry this burden with great consideration of the expectations of not just those who elected us, but those who are looking on us for future decision as to whether or not they will participate in the process. And I want to say to those persons who didn't participate this time that we, as a new government with a mandate that is indisputable, that we will conduct ourselves in a way that will make you proud as well and make you want to participate the next time around. I raise this in my acceptance, and I don't call this a victory speech, because with such a large mandate, it brings a whole new dynamic as to how we manage government. In our last government, the narrative of corruption dogged us, and it is not something that we can hide away from. And I want to be clear, because there are many persons who will now be assuming state authority, who may not have the understanding as to how that authority should be used. They will know clearly that this government does not stand for corruption. We have, as a country, managed to come to consensus on fiscal matters, on monetary policy. There is an evolving consensus on crime and violence, national security. We have a consensus developing around growth policy. But there must now be a clear consensus, strong position on anti-corruption. The mandate is also a victory for conscientious and thoughtful policy. We saw manifestos being presented that were poles apart in terms of their content and structure. The manifesto that won is a manifesto that was realistic, the manifesto that was doable. And what it says to me is that the Jamaican politics, the Jamaican people are maturing in their outlook. They understand that populist policies can have a destructive impact on the national good. So, in that regard, Jamaica has won. We've had a very, by and large, a peaceful election, an election that can be emulated by other countries, and we must all cherish our democracy. I want to acknowledge the PNP and Dr. Peter Phillips. Tonight, I received a call from Dr. Phillips conceding and congratulating. And I thought that was very sportsmanlike and very dignified, and really reflects well on our politics. And I too obviously commended him on putting up a good fight. As I said today in an interview, politics can be like gladiator sport, but after it is finished, we must all try to be good sportsmen and sportswomen, and for good reason. The task ahead of us is not just for the Jamaica Labour Party. The task ahead of us is for all of us, including the PNP. And so tonight I also appeal to PNP supporters. Do not feel dejected. Join us in celebrating Jamaica's victory. You will have a very important role to play in Jamaica's stronger recovery. And I am clear that there should not be any victimization, any retribution, any malice in how we move forward as a government. We must embrace everyone. We need everyone on board for Jamaica to recover stronger. As I close, I want to thank my family, my wife Juliet, who is still in our constituency. I brought my younger son with me for for him to get some insights into politics. I want to thank the campaign team. You would have heard from Babsy and from Desmond and Nigel. But I want to have a special commendation for Kamina. I want to thank the officers of the party, chairman, deputy chairman, and our very hard-working general secretary and his deputy general secretaries, and all who worked and participated. I put a word of prayer out for our deputy campaign chairman, Rudyard Spencer, who is in hospital at this moment. And I want to welcome our newly elected candidates. And for those who were not successful at the polls, to say that your effort contributed to the victory, and you are a part of the winning team. There were some unfortunate events today, which one of them I will acknowledge is the sudden death of a voter at the polls. I extend my sympathies to her family. But as I close, I give the assurance that with this large margin, this solid mandate, that we will be responsible. We will be responsible with the power that you have given to us. We will continue our good policies. We will keep Jamaica on the path to prosperity. We will usher in an era of stability on which we will grow. We will usher in an era where Jamaica can fulfill its true destiny. May God bless you.